Hey, what's up? I just wanted to give a little developer perspective on Castle Refuge. I want to talk a little bit about why it was designed, what kind of map it is, maybe share a little bit about its secrets, and definitely show you some of the cool paths and ways of navigating the castle. So, what you're looking at is over 3 years worth of work in an attempt to produce a 16 by 16 battle map. Player versus player. First to 15 wins. The castle's built from prefabs that have been heavily modified. The idea was to make each of the sections a mirror identical image of the next, so that it's easier to get lost inside the castle, almost kind of forcing you to explore areas to see what's possible, what things you can maybe uncover if you look hard enough. With that in mind, let me take you on a small walkthrough and we'll talk a little bit about why it was designed the way it was. So Castle Refuge began when the block was first introduced into Fortnite. And if you don't remember the block, it was Epic Games' nod to the community by allowing their creations to be put in actual public game in Fortnite. Now, it was an ice theme season, so we went kind of crazy with the walls here. When I say we, it's because the very first design of Castle Refuge was with one friend online who dropped in a bunch of random things, said, "There we go, it's done." And I looked at it and said, "No, it needs about 300 hours more work." He abandoned the project that night, and I went in to constantly edit it. The only original things left in here are the ice cliffs that surround it, although they have been moved and manipulated. Credit for those definitely goes to somebody else. So the forest was done in a way on purpose so that you get these line of sight and vantage points when you're trying to make cool shots. Especially for snipers. You can pick someone off pretty hard when they're running down here. You don't really get much of a choice of where you want to go. You can build out. It's possible, but once you get over the top of the ice cliffs, you wind up getting to the edge, and castle really doesn't give you much. It kind of forces you to go back and see what's there. You can see all the latest Fortnite editions are added, sliding, running. There's power-ups everywhere for health and shields. The ramparts in each corner are mostly places to gather supplies, weapons. Maybe make a quick escape if you have to. Each corner has a teleporter, and the teleporters are linked to each of the ramparts. It's a completely random system. They're marked in the hopes that after a while you'll get used to where you are and start to memorize other cool secrets. Like quick ways to the top of the tower or to high ground. So, the entire idea of the forest from the beginning was I wanted it to be accessible from all sides. So while there is some cover sneaking around it underneath, you'll notice the places where the snow isn't is usually when it's open to the top. So, throughout the game are power-ups. Each power-up lasts for 2 minutes, and they give you a brand new loadout. Sometimes it boosts to your health. Sometimes there's a movement multiplier. Sometimes there's a multiplier also for getting mats. But they're an interesting way to gain the leg up in the game for a little bit. Once you have one, you can claim a second, but it overwrites the one that you currently have, and your timer still stays at 2 minutes. So you can't exploit it and stack power-ups. Although technically, I guess you could eat them all up, and then someone would have to wait 2 minutes before they could go grab one, but it'd be kind of hard because they're spread all throughout the castle. There's 8 of them in total. So the forest from the very beginning was designed so that everything was a pathway. If you looked at it and you were like, can I walk through that? You probably can. And I took my time slowly and meticulously lining each tree so that that was possible. Again, there's the line of sight, places to hide, get your right peek, because, you know, that's what Fortnite's all about. So let's go back inside now, and we'll head on up. So you can see the ramparts go pretty far down, get some good shots. Like I said, there's secrets hidden everywhere. Oh, my loadout timer just ended. See what else we can get. So, I want to add some cool elements and follow myself in a theme, and I put these little secret hidden rooms. They're all tied together with this cube. So if you see this cube, you know you're in the right place. They have kind of a contextual meaning to the story, which is the wizard that's inside of this tower, the one that actually is in control of everything in Fortnite, but they had to go make it about the IO and, I don't know, weird structures to take down multiple realities, tied it into comic books, whatever. I just wanted there to be a wizard that planned it all out in a small separate reality where he was living in a retreat. So he's got these little rooms. This is his little library where when he takes on his smaller size, he of course has way more storage space, thousands of books to read. So, like I said, there's 5 of those throughout the game. I'll actually show you a second one because there's one right here. So there's this little escape hut out here, right? Out onto the nothing, like whatever this cuts off at. Wonder what's over there in the real world when it materializes in, you know? So you got like a dock here, maybe some mountainside. This is a stone path lead to nothing. It's like the wizard coming to the wizard's secret hideaway. He's got a little campsite up here, see? So if he ever needs to come heal or get away from it all, you know? So like I said, there's 5 of those. Good luck finding the rest. I'm not giving them away. As you can see, every time you enter, the ramparts are identical. But you're in a different area this time. But once you learn how to navigate one, you can navigate all of them, and then you just have to figure out what side of the castle you're on. And that's easily done by looking at the sky, which is perfectly split into 2 colors, so you know which is the south end, which is the north end, so forth. Now here, this is kind of the wizard's private collection. When he ventures over into the other world, which is the Fortnite Island, he sometimes brings souvenirs back. You'll see a bunch of different themes and seasons represented here. Personally speaking, I have the snowflake umbrella, so I've been here for a minute. Doorbell, because I love when that was put in for the season. Figured needed a bathroom. And fortunately for those who weren't there, my favorite emote of all time was the basketball. And after they removed that, or they knocked the hoops down, there's basically next to nothing. Sometimes you find them when they're broken now. Some of the ones don't even work in the game. They look like they should, but when you shoot a basket at them, nothing happens. So I had to put a basketball net in because, like I said, it's literally the best emote they ever put in the game. It's the best toy you could earn. So, make our way up through the library. And we come to the wizard's main chamber. Now, this was very early on before Fortnite had any lighting effects put in creative. So I did a bunch of like cool things in order to get lights shining inside of this stuff, and these candles up here are actually not like the candles that actually burn. I jammed like my own little lights in there and centered them perfectly. Like, dude. Just wanted ambient lighting in here, and I wanted it to look cool. Of course, now Fortnite has put so much stuff into creative that it's easy to do stuff like this, but back then, I don't know. This took a while to make all this work. Oh yeah, it's a real door. Takes you into the random network, so it can come out anywhere. And you just saw one of the very rare ones there where it actually glitches through the door twice. And that's not a glitch, that was done on purpose, but that hardly ever happens. So, this is the officers' quarters, where of course, when the wizard's not demanding, knights have to have somewhere to go to celebrate. The time that this was put in was right at Christmas season. So I took some of those elements that existed at that point and brought them into this room. As you can see, this has more of the modern candles, including these ones, that are now offered in Fortnite, which burn on their own. They're really nice, but I like what I did with the old one. You'll see there's edibles in here. So I wanted to make sure that there were places to get heals all over the place, and I tried to think unconventionally, like, what would the officers have? Cake and food, definitely. One interesting fact about the castle is I worked very hard to make sure that there was no wasted space. So if you get an opportunity to play it and you're exploring it looking for secrets and you think, hey, there wouldn't be anything behind there, trust me, there's something behind there. Always. Like, I added these guys for ambient effect, or like, you know, I figured. The wizard froze them as they tried to attack. They're actually a lot of memory. I could gain almost like 2,000 back if I got rid of them, which is ridiculous because they're just little statues. I don't know why there's so much memory. But so each one of these torches was placed one at a time, so if you see a torch that isn't lit, it was put there on purpose. This is of course the main chamber. Up there is our little hidden library room. Again, there's no wasted space. Like, There's so many different paths through the castle. Not just through the obvious ones. They can take you through the doors. There's so many hidden ones too. Well, I hope you enjoyed that glimpse inside my head in Castle Refuge. I wish I could get everybody the chance to give the game a try, but I don't think Epic's ever going to make it possible.